The backstage lights flicker over a tiny girl clutching a microphone too big for her hands. Her name is Mira Santos, 10 years old, from a small village in the Philippines. Her sneakers are torn, her dress is borrowed, and her hair is tied with a faded ribbon her mother gave her that morning. She looks around at the towering cameras and stage lights, whispering under her breath. "For Mama. I can do this." No one in the audience knows that this little girl hasn't eaten a full meal in 2 days, or that her mother had to sell her wedding ring to buy Myra's plane ticket to America. But tonight could change everything. The music swells. The camera zooms in on her trembling smile. The story begins. The heavy curtains part, and for a moment, the world seems too big for the little girl standing center stage. Bright lights blaze down on her small frame, making her squint as she clutches the microphone with both trembling hands. The stage feels enormous, the audience endless, a sea of faces watching her every breath. She takes a shaky step forward. Her name is Mira Santos, 10 years old, from a small fishing village in the Philippines. This is her very first time outside her country, her first time on a real stage. Her heart pounds so loudly she's afraid the judges can hear it. Simon Cowell leans forward, voice kind but curious. "Hello, sweetheart. What's your name?" "Mira, sir." "Mira Santos," she answers softly, her accent gentle and melodic. Simon smiles. "And how old are you?" 10. "That's very young. What will you be singing today?" Mira takes a deep breath. "A song I wrote for my mom. She's back home, watching me." A murmur ripples through the crowd. The girl's honesty pierces through the glitter and lights of America's Got Talent. Behind her brave smile hides a story the world has yet to hear, a story of sacrifice, love, and dreams born from hardship. The soft notes of the piano begin. Mira closes her eyes. Her lips part, and then, a voice so pure and haunting fills the air. It's not the voice of a contestant chasing fame. It's the voice of a daughter singing her heart out for the woman who gave up everything. Her song speaks of long nights when the rain poured through their tin roof, and her mother still hummed lullabies to make her forget the hunger. It tells of a promise, a little girl's vow to one day give her mother the life she deserves. The crowd grows silent. The judges lean forward, their expressions softening. The tiny girl in the faded pink dress isn't just performing, she's living every note. As the last line fades, "One day, I'll make you proud, Mama," a hush falls over the auditorium. Then, a single clap. Another. Then a wave of thunderous applause. Mira opens her eyes, stunned. Her dream has just taken its first breath. For a heartbeat, the entire hall remains silent after Myra's first verse. The sound engineer glances up, the judges lean forward, and even the restless crowd forgets to breathe. Something about this little girl's voice, so fragile yet so full of soul, feels sacred. She grips the microphone tighter, her knuckles white, but her gaze doesn't waver. The melody swells, and her voice trembles, not from fear, but from emotion too deep for her small body to contain. Every lyric paints a picture of her life back home in the Philippines, a tiny wooden house by the sea, her mother singing while mending nets, the laughter they shared even when their stomachs were empty. As she sings, "When the nights are cold and the lights go dark, I'll find your voice inside my heart." A tear slips down her cheek. Yet she doesn't falter. Instead, she lifts her chin higher and lets the pain turn into power. By the time she reaches the chorus, her voice rises like a prayer. "Someday, the light will find me. Even if I'm lost tonight." The audience starts to cry. A woman in the front row presses a hand to her chest. A cameraman wipes his eyes, pretending it's just dust. Myra's final note quivers in the air, gentle, golden, and impossibly pure. Then silence. Complete, breathtaking silence. Simon Cowell blinks several times, his lips pressed together. Sofia Vergara covers her mouth, eyes shining. Howie Mandel shakes his head, whispering, that voice, that heart. And then. Yellow heart slam. Heidi Klum's hand hits the golden buzzer. Golden confetti bursts from above, raining down in slow motion. Mira gasps, her hands flying to her mouth. The audience leaps to their feet, cheering, shouting, crying all at once. Mira falls to her knees, sobbing in disbelief as golden lights swirl around her. "Mama, we did it, Mama," she cries, her small voice trembling over the roar of the crowd. Simon smiles softly. "That wasn't just singing," he says into the mic, "that was a miracle." As the confetti continues to fall, Mira looks up, her face glowing under the lights. She isn't just a contestant anymore. She's a reminder of every dream born in struggle, and every heart brave enough to keep believing. Backstage, the cheers from the arena still echo faintly through the walls. Mira sits on a folding chair, tiny legs swinging, hands still trembling from what just happened. Golden confetti clings to her hair, glittering under the soft light. The show's host kneels beside her, smiling warmly. "Mira, how do you feel right now?" he asks gently. She looks down, twisting the hem of her pink dress. "Happy, and scared," she admits with a shy laugh. "I didn't think they would like my song. I just wanted Mama to hear me." The camera zooms in as her smile falters for a moment. "We don't have much," she continues softly. "Back home, Mama sells vegetables at the market. Sometimes, when it rains, we don't earn anything. But she never complains. She just sings." The interviewer leans closer, touched. "Is that how you learned?" Mira nods. "Yes. When the lights went out because we couldn't pay the bill, she'd sing in the dark. That's when I learned music isn't about money, it's about love." Her innocent words ripple through social media that very night. Within hours, her performance video goes viral. People from all over the world share it, writing comments like, "This little girl made me cry," and "She's a gift to humanity." Back in the Philippines, in a tiny home by the sea, Myra's mother, Alma Santos, watches the replay on a borrowed phone. The video buffers, the sound crackles, but the moment she sees the golden confetti fall, Alma bursts into tears. She clasps her hands together, whispering prayers of gratitude. Soon, news stations pick up the story. Donations pour in from strangers across the world. A community page is set up to support Myra's dream. A music school in Los Angeles offers her free vocal training. A company even sends new clothes and shoes to her village. But what touches Mira most isn't the fame or the gifts, it's the handwritten letters. Dozens of kids write to say, "You made me believe in my dreams again." As she reads one of the letters before bed that night, Mira smiles. "Mama was right," she whispers, eyes sparkling. "When you sing with love, people hear it, even across oceans." Weeks pass, but the world hasn't stopped talking about the little girl from the Philippines who made the judges cry. Everywhere Mira goes, people recognize her. Yet, despite the sudden fame, she remains the same shy, humble child who still writes songs in her notebook and calls her mother every night before bed. It's the day of the America's Got Talent semi-finals. Backstage, Mira paces nervously, clutching the same faded ribbon her mother gave her before she left home. Her heart races, not from fear, but anticipation. This time, she isn't alone. A producer walks in, smiling. "Mira, there's someone here to see you." She turns, and freezes. Standing just a few feet away is her mother, Alma, tears streaming down her face. "Mama!" Mira screams, running into her arms. The two cling to each other, sobbing uncontrollably. The reunion melts every heart in the room. Cameras quietly capture the moment, but no one dares interrupt. "I told you I'd sing for you," Mira whispers into her mother's shoulder. "And I told you I'd never stop believing in you," Alma replies, her voice breaking. Moments later, the stage lights dim once again. Mira walks out, this time with her mother watching proudly from the front row. The crowd erupts in cheers. Simon smiles knowingly. When asked what she'll sing tonight, Mira says softly, a song about hope, for every kid who thinks their dreams are too far away. The music begins, slow, emotional, filled with longing. Her voice is stronger now, more confident, but still carries the same innocence that first captured everyone's heart. She sings of courage, love, and how even the smallest light can shine in the darkest place. As her final note echoes through the hall, the audience rises to their feet once again. But Mira doesn't look at the judges this time, she looks at her mother, tears glistening in her eyes. Simon leans forward, visibly moved. Mira, he says softly, you reminded us tonight why this show exists. You made the world feel something real again. The applause roars louder. Alma wipes her tears, whispering, that's my little girl. In that moment, Mira realizes something powerful. She didn't just return to perform. She returned to prove that love, faith, and music can turn even the smallest dream into a miracle. The grand finale of America's Got Talent arrives under a glittering canopy of lights. Cameras flash, the audience hums with anticipation, and Mira stands once more at the center of the stage, her heart pounding, her palms warm from her mother's last squeeze of reassurance. She's not that nervous girl anymore. She's grown, not in age, but in courage. She wears a simple white dress, her hair tied with the same pink ribbon she's worn since her first audition. As she waits for the music cue, she glances toward the front row where her mother sits, smiling through tears. The piano begins, soft, slow, almost like a lullaby. Mira takes a deep breath and starts to sing. Her voice floats gently through the hall, tender and pure. The lyrics speak of light, of finding strength after struggle, of love that never leaves, of dreams that guide us home. Each word feels like a prayer carried on melody, rising higher and higher until it fills the whole theater. Halfway through, the crowd begins to sway, their phone flashlights glowing like stars. Mira's voice quivers on a high note, and for a second, her eyes glisten. But then she smiles, because she knows she's not singing alone. Her mother's spirit, her country, her people, all their hopes are singing with her. When the final note fades, there's a long, breathless silence, then an explosion of applause that shakes the walls. The judges stand. Simon wipes his eyes, his voice soft but firm. Mira, you've done more than perform, you've healed hearts tonight. You reminded us that real talent isn't about perfection. It's about purpose. The crowd chants her name, Mira. 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 Her mother rushes to the stage, and Mira runs straight into her arms. Cameras capture the embrace, the golden lights raining down once again, framing the two like a living miracle. Alma whispers, you've given hope to so many, Anik. Mira smiles through her tears. Mama, we don't have to be rich to shine, we just have to keep believing. The lights fade. The crowd roars. And somewhere, beyond the glitter and fame, a small girl's dream has grown into a light bright enough to touch the world. Because sometimes, the most powerful songs are born from the quietest hearts.